This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 308. Hypermiling, Expert Driving to Save 25% on Gas, Part 3, by Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. And I am Dan, your host and narrator here on the show. Happy Wednesday to all of you. This is, of course, where I read to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And maybe you've got an idea for us. Come share topic requests at oldpodcasts.com. And today I'm back to finish up a post for you. On Monday, I started reading this article from Mr. Money Mustache, but it's one of the longer articles that we share with you, so I broke this one up into 3 parts. So if you're new here, make sure to check out episodes 306 and 307 first, so you get the whole story. Now, let's finish up the post as we optimize your life. Hypermiling, Expert Driving to Save 25% on Gas, Part 3. By Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. 7. How much does air conditioning really cost to use? What about headlights and other accessories? Thanks to the Ultra Gauge, I was able to test all these things directly while idling for a minute when the engine happened to be at full operating temperature. In my van, which has a princely dual-zone system designed to cool 7 passengers, the AC boosts the fuel consumption at idle from 0.49 gallons per hour to 0.74 gallons per hour. So, it's burning 0.25 GPH, which is $1 per hour at $4 per gallon. When driving 65 miles per hour, this same van normally uses $8 per hour of fuel, so the air conditioning is sapping a surprising 12% of the fuel efficiency, about 3.5 mpg. But it's best to just think of the hourly figure so you can decide, is it $1 an hour hot in here today or not? In my small car, the figure is only half as much, 0.12 GPH or 50 cents per hour. In moderate weather, the trade-off speed between opening windows and running the air conditioning is about 50 miles per hour. Use the AC if traveling faster than that, unless one of your passengers needs access to the roaring air to do cool hand stunts. Headlights are a much smaller drain, adding only 0.02 GPH or 8 cents per hour to the toll. The radio is even lower, not even registering on the 0.01 GPH increment scale, unless you're rattling the license plate with competition-grade subwoofers and amps at high volume. 8. Vehicle modifications, small and large. You can reduce your car's rolling resistance, make it lighter, make it more aerodynamic, and make the engine more efficient, in that order of difficulty. Rolling resistance is caused by the tires. The harder the tires, the lower the rolling resistance. Automakers specify a fairly low pressure, like 30 psi, to balance fuel economy with the mushy ride most US drivers expect. But I find that you get a firmer ride with sharper handling and higher efficiency by using the maximum pressure specified on the sidewall of the tires itself. I use 40 psi, close to the 44 psi rating of my current tires. This change yields about a 2% increase in fuel efficiency. Next time you replace your tires, you can also select low rolling resistance models that add 2% or more to a regular tire's performance as well. In a 3,000-pound car, each 30 pounds you slice from the weight cuts your weight by 1% and increases your fuel efficiency by about the same amount. It also improves acceleration and handling. I always start by removing the spare tire, jack, and related metal accessories from the trunk. There's 50 pounds and a bunch more trunk space. I do add in a can of Fix-A-Flat tire repair spray. Spare tires are good if you're traveling alone through Death Valley or South America, but for local errands in a world with cell phones and internet access, I haven't worried one bit about my own habit of never carrying spares for the past 20 years. I have had a few flat tires over the years, but always just slow leaks that I discovered in my driveway, an embedded nail or similar. Taking out unneeded seats in a van, trailer hitches, or other cargo is also useful for a small boost. A full tank of gas at 8 pounds per gallon usually weighs over 100 pounds too. Because of this, and because a full tank of gas lasts several months in my van, raising concerns about spoilage, I usually buy only a quarter or half a tank unless I'm heading out on a road trip. Aerodynamics are hard to change for the casual fuel saver. You should definitely keep all roof racks off of your car except when actually using them on a trip. A typical rack wastes over $100 per year of fuel, but other than that, there are not many easy ones to do. Enthusiasts, however, buy sheets of coroplast plastic and attach them firmly to the underbelly of the car and over the rear wheel wells. These 2 things can significantly improve highway efficiency, although I have not had the motivation to go this far myself. Hypermilers also block at least part of the intake grill on the front of the car, which I have done. This improves aerodynamics and lets the engine run warmer, which sounds bad but is actually good in most cases if you read up on it. As a final trick, I sometimes flip in one or both of my external rearview mirrors while driving extremely long distances in extremely remote areas, for example, crossing Wyoming at night. I can still see outside just fine with the internal rear view and my usual shoulder checks for lane changing. At high speeds, this saves a surprising amount of fuel, 2%. The final factors: minimal driving and vehicle choice. The tips above will help an EPA-level driver slice their fuel costs by 25% without replacing their car or changing their driving habits. But of course, we will go much further than that, since my own goal for you is to have transportation costs at least 75% below normal. To get to that level, you need to use a reasonable car and drive less, being sure to live within 10 miles of work and bike or walk there most of the time. These are the most important factors, but they're rarely mentioned in newspaper and magazine guides because the publishers don't want to offend anyone, or may not even realize themselves that lifestyle change is possible. For anything other than massive family road trips or heavy load hauling, you should be driving a lightweight 4-cylinder vehicle with manual transmission, EPA rating of 25 or better in the city, 32 or better on the highway. If not, you've used excuse-itis to incorrectly justify getting yourself the wrong car. This may sound tough to you now, but as your frugality muscles become stronger, it will become an easy choice. There are several hypermilers among the readers who are much more badass than me at the sport. We'll probably hear from them in the comments. Hopefully, their tricks and mine above will save all of you many gallons in the years to come, until we all finally switch to electric cars. You just listened to part 3 of the post titled Hypermiling, Expert Driving to Save 25% on Gas, by Mr. Money Mustache of MrMoneyMustache.com. And that completes this 3-part post, so I'll be back to read from a different author tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this one from MMM. And before we go, I'll just mention real quickly, for all things related to our podcasts, to support the shows, to join our mailing list, to contact us, and more, visit us online at oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com. And I will leave it at that for today. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Thursday show, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.